Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care, and thank you for joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And we always are glad to bring you information, especially when we have dignitaries from out of town. As Senator John Kennedy was here in Terrebonne Parish, and he was over at the Terrebonne Churches United Food Bank, and he was sharing some of his thoughts as we celebrate the 2-year anniversary of Hurricane Ida. We go to that coverage now.
This is the 2-year anniversary of Ida. I think the federal government, we ended up appropriating about $5 billion for Ida. It was the second worst storm that's ever hit our state. But it's not just during the storm and after the storm. It's every single day. Because hunger doesn't have a wristwatch. When you're a baby or you're a mama or a daddy or a man or woman and you're hungry, you're hungry. And the American people are the most generous people in the entire world. As I said earlier, when in our country, if you're homeless, we'll house you. If you're too poor to be sick, we'll pay for your doctor. If you're hungry, we'll feed you. But it costs money. And it also costs time. And money alone's not enough, I can tell you. You can throw all the money you want at a problem and it's not going to solve it unless you have people with the will and with the heart. And I meant it when I said thank you. Thank you to Lawrence. Thanks to this wonderful organization. Thanks to the staff. And thank you to all the volunteers, including our Coast Guard, because this wouldn't work without it. Your work is always important, but it's especially important today. The National Flood Insurance Program is run by FEMA. We have about 5 million policyholders nationwide. As you know, most private insurance companies don't sell flood insurance. So the federal government had to step in and create its own insurance program. Of those 5 million people, about 500,000 live here in Louisiana. We would not have commerce in Louisiana. We certainly wouldn't have homes without flood insurance, because when you borrow the money to buy or build a home, you've got to have flood insurance. The program is run by FEMA. It was working pretty well, despite some very serious natural disasters. But FEMA decided to change the program. Their new program is called Risk Rating 2.0. And it is an unmitigated disaster. The state of Louisiana sued FEMA. And I regret that we had to do that, but they had it coming, because I got virtually no answers from meeting with them. They keep talking about their algorithm. And I keep saying, well, let me see your algorithm. And they say, well, no, well, you can't see it. I said, I'm willing to hire somebody at my expense to take a look at this algorithm and assess its accuracy. Because you know what I think? I think one of the things that algorithm does, or doesn't do, is give us credit for our levies. Now, the people in Lafourche and Terrebonne and all surrounding areas, St. Mary, Assumption, but particularly where I am today, came out of their pocket and put money into the Morganza to the Gulf levee system. Now, 3 years ago, I got the Federal Corps of Engineers to designate Morganza to the Gulf as an official federal project, and since then we've been appropriating federal money. But before that, it was all the people of this area. They built these levees, and they deserve credit for it in their insurance premium. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And I'm not going to give up. You know, they can't eat me, they can't kill me. I'm going to keep after them. Like I say, I'm going to chase them like a hound from hell till we get this straight. But it sure would be easier. I've got 2 bills. One's a transparency bill that will explain to people who are putting up their hard-earned money how their premium was calculated. And the second bill would cap the increases at 9%. That's still too much, but it's better than 18%. And all President Biden has to do, God bless him, is pick up that telephone and call Senator Chuck Schumer and say, I want you to tell the Democrats to vote for Kennedy's bill. And we will pass this thing, and it will pass the House. And we can give some people relief. But until he will do that, I'm blocked. Whether you like President Trump or dislike President Trump, I think you've got to step back and think about what all this means to America and its future. These indictments are unprecedented. We're not talking about a DoorDash driver here. The subject of these indictments is a former president of the United States who has been indicted while he is running for president of the United States, who has been indicted by his opponent, the president of the United States. That's never happened in America. That doesn't happen in America. That only happens in countries punishing your political opponent. That only happens in countries whose Powerball jackpot is 387 chickens and a goat. That doesn't happen in America. But the glass has been broken. And it worries me, this prosecution of political opponents. And again, I am not commenting on guilt or innocence. The glass has been broken, and it may be unprecedented, and this may be the first time, but I fear it won't be the last time.